at practice. Everybody getting into the act. Durant fires for three. Got it! Got it! Here's Thompson for three. Big shot by Steph Curry.
So the Rockets need to go just 8-9 to finish with the best record in franchise history. Do they have to win a championship to be remembered as a great team in NBA history?
Well, I think people forget that the Houston Rockets got 2 championships back-to-back back in the day. So this organization has won championships before, so they understand what you have to do. And when you look at the way the Rockets have played, they have walked the Golden State down. Everybody just gift-wrapped and it was ready to hand Golden State the NBA championship. But a funny thing happened along the way, the Houston Rockets. And the thing about it is we know they can score. We know they can shoot the three. But the thing I respect about them, they play D now, and they take what you give them. If you chase them off that three-point line, they'll take the easy two. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Chris Paul for that mentality right now. And you can say what you want about Chris Paul, Karan. He is as competitive as anybody in the NBA, and he understands that he's got a lot to prove also, so he's going to be hungry, and he's going to he and James Harden are going to drag the Rockets to the NBA championship because they want it, because Chris Paul understands he needs this. He needs to get to the final to cement his reputation as a great player.
Yeah, I think he's looking to solidify his legacy, Chris Paul, and I think the key for him is being durable, being healthy, being available. And that's one of the reasons why he really elected to go to Houston. He wanted to play alongside a bona fide superstar in James Harden, a guy that can create opportunities for himself and his teammates. And he can be that B option where he can feed off him and be consistent. And that's exactly what you're seeing. I did not think that this thing can work because Chris Paul is a guy that needs the ball in his hand as well. But they have proven so many of us wrong.
So what's the most important factor for the Rockets in the postseason? Because clearly it worked in the regular season.
I think it's health, and I think it's defense and knocking down shots. They're going to play with pace. They're going to score the ball because they're so talented. That's just a luxury that they have. But at the same time, on the defensive end of the floor, they're going to have to buckle down and get stops. And with Chris Paul being a perennial defensive all-NBA guy, he's going to be one of the guys that lead that. James Harden is going to have to buy into that side of the floor, which he has done. He's just solidified himself as this season's MVP, and he has to continue to do that during the next season of the playoffs.
Coach, James Harden has struggled in the playoffs. Chris Paul, if there's one blemish on his great career, it's the fact that he hasn't made it to the finals, right? And if you look at Mike D'Antoni, what do people say about him? Comes up a bit short in the playoffs. When they get to the postseason and they get in a tight series, is that something you think will be in their minds somewhere, something that will play with them psychologically?
No, not at all. Look, one thing I read about Mike D'Antoni, he said for all the success he had in Phoenix, he said we didn't go all in with this style. They're all in with this style of play right now. He said we didn't go all in. He's committed. The Houston Rockets are committed to this style of play, to this group of players. To me, the only thing that can hurt the Rockets, rebounding. When you go back and look at that Toronto Raptors game Friday, even though Houston coming off a back-to-back, they got hurt on the glass late in the game when they went to that small lineup. The question is for Houston, can they rebound enough when they spread you out with that small lineup and take Capella off the floor? Who's going to be that second rebounder for those guys? Can Nene, will he be able to step up and rebound the basketball for them? But to me, that's the scariest thing for them. Can they rebound enough come playoff time? Because there's going to be nights where they're missing shots and those long threes, those long rebounds, and that's the first pass to a fast break when you miss those long threes.
Chris, and I would have to say, this Rockets team, they believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And me and Coach is just talking about that. Like, it's false hope, but this is real hope. They believe that they can beat anyone. And when you have guys that believe in that, the leaders, the rest follows.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some nights you see guys like P.J. Tucker step up and make big plays, not just necessarily hitting shots, but getting loose balls, being in defensive position. They seem to have a lot of pieces that fit well together. It'll be interesting to watch them during the playoffs and see how far they can make it.